Welcome to the channel Easy Geography, an easy way to learn geography concepts. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel. This video includes the objective questions from the topic Works of Running Water. From the source to its mouth, the river forms a large variety of landforms. Questions about the riverine landforms is common in all exams in which our geography is the main subject. This video contains previous questions and explanations will help you to learn more. We can go to the questions. First question. The river drains the water collected from a specific area. Water collected from the specific area. The whole area is known as options: drainage basin, catchment area, watershed and the source. The options A, drainage basin means the area drained by the river and its tributaries. Then not the drainage basin, then the catchment area, and it is the correct answer. Option B, catchment area means water collected from a specific area. Watershed means in between the drainage basin. Then the source means the originating place of river. The option B is correct. The river drains the water collected from the specific area is catchment area. Drainage basin means the area drained by the river and its tributaries. Watershed, boundary between two drainage basins. Second question. Which of the following are correct about consequent streams? On the basis of direction of flow and depends on the original slope, the streams are classified into consequent, obsequent, subsequent, like that. And among the three statements, which are correct about the consequent streams? Path of the stream directly depends on the original slope of the surface. Flow opposite to obsequent stream lies at lower level than the original slope. Which statements are correct about consequent streams? If you don't know about the streams, we can go to the explanations. Here, try to answer. The first statement, path of the stream directly depends on the original slope of the surface, is correct about the consequent stream. Consequent stream means directly depends on the original slope of the surface. And it is opposite to obsequent stream. The obsequent streams flow opposite to consequent stream. Obsequent opposite to consequent stream. The third statement lies at lower level than the original. It's a wrong statement. We said it depends on the original slope. Consequent means depends the original slope of the surface. So the last statement lies at lower level than the original is wrong. The first and second statements are correct. That means option B. Here the definitions are there. Based on its course, the streams are classified as first one the consequent. The path depends on the original slope of the surface. For example, Narmada and Tapti in India. Example for consequent streams are Narmada and Tapti. The path depends on the original slope of the surface. Second one, subsequent stream. Subsequent means the stream courses are not depend on the original slope. Stream course not depend on original slopes. That is subsequent stream. They develop their valleys along an outcrop of less resistant rock or a regional fault or joint pattern. It is right angle to the consequent stream. The subsequent stream flows right angle to the consequent stream. Next one, resequent. Resequent means the path of the stream flows original relief but lower level than the original. Resequent, lower level than the original slope. Then obsequent, stream course depends on the rock strata and it is right angle to the subsequent and opposite to the consequent stream. Last one, the insequent stream. It is having an almost random drainage, often forming drainage dendritic pattern and form an acute angle with the upstream part of the consequent stream. These are the different types of streams. Here the direction of streams. First one, the consequent. Here we know the consequent stream follows the original slope. That is the large river consequent stream. It follows the original slope. Then the subsequent. Subsequent is right angle to the consequent stream. Subsequent is right angle to the consequent stream. Next one, the obsecant. Obsecant is opposite to consequent and right angle to subsecant. And then insecant acute angle with the consequent stream, insecant. And then the resecant also follows the dendritic drainage pattern. Is it clear? Next question. The geomorphological phenomena occurring when a stream or river is diverted from its own bed and flows instead down the bed of a neighboring stream. The river diverted its own bed, then flows to another stream. That is known as the turbulent flow, braided stream, stream piracy, rejuvenation. The phenomena of a stream or river diverted its own bed and flows to the neighboring stream. That is stream piracy. Option C, stream piracy. And here the rejuvenation means eroding the landscape in response to lowering of its base level. And the rejuvenation leads to the features like incised meanders, terraces, etc. Rejuvenation leads to the formation of incised meanders and terraces. Question. What is surface runoff? What is surface runoff? Options. That part of the precipitation which run off the land surface into streams. Second one, the river water which runs off into the ocean. C. The small streams which confluence into the main river. D. Landforms change due to fluvial action. Which define the surface runoff? Answer option A. That part of the precipitation which run off the land surface into streams. That is the surface runoff. Next one. The erosional work of rivers depend mainly on. Erosional work of rivers depends on gradient, volume of water, velocity, riverbed. Option A, gradient only. Option B, gradient and volume of water. Option C, gradient, volume of water and river load. Option D, all the above. And we know the erosional work of rivers depends on the gradient. Because gradient means the steepness of the river and steeper gradient means faster the flow of water. And then lower gradient means slow movement. And it influences the erosional work. Next one, the volume of water. Definitely the amount of water influence the erosional work. And then the velocity. Velocity is also influence. And then river load. River load, if the amount of load is high, the depositional work will start. And then the erosional work is also depends on the river load. That means the option D, all the above is the answer. The erosional work of rivers depends on gradient, volume of water, velocity and river load. Next question. Which of the following is not the erosional work of running water? Corrosion, attrition, corrosion and deflation. Which of the following is not an erosional work of running water? Corrosion, attrition, corrosion. These are the erosional work of running water and the answer is deflation. Option D. The erosional work of running water is classified into two. Erosional work are two types, mechanical erosion and chemical erosion. The mechanical erosion include hydraulic action, corrosion and attrition. The chemical action is corrosion. Don't confuse about the terms corrosion and corrosion. C-O-R-R-A. Corrosion is a mechanical action. Corrosion is the solution, that is a chemical action. And the mechanical erosion, first one, hydraulic action. Hydraulic action means the physical force of the moving water. Then corrosion means the rock fragments moving downstream strike against the bed and sides of the river. Corrosion, the rock fragments eroded the sides and the bed of the stream. That is corrosion. Then attrition means the transported rock fragments converted into fine salt and silt. Attrition means It is the erosion of the transported rock fragments. Then the chemical action. Chemical action is the solution or corrosion. Corrosion means the water dissolves the rock along their joints and make cavities through the solution action. These are about the erosional work of running water. The terms are mechanical and chemical. Mechanicals are classified into hydraulic action, corrosion and attrition. The chemical action is known as corrosion. Next question. Which of the following is not an erosional work of running water? Not an erosional work. Potholes, alluvial funds, valleys, waterfalls. All these are work of running water, landforms of running water, which is not the erosional work. Potholes, of course it is an erosional work, and then valleys formed due to the erosion, then waterfalls also erosional work, and the answer is option B, alluvial funds formed due to the deposition of running water. Answer option B. The erosional landforms are valleys, waterfalls, pothole, structural benches, oxbow lakes, cuesta, hogback, etc. These are the erosional works. And major repositional landforms are alluvial fans and cones, floodplains, delta. Then the river terraces, meanders, etc. are considered as the erosional depositional forms. Both processes are included in the formation of river terraces and meanders, erosional work and depositional works together. Next one, valleys are the product of dash stages of a river. The river stages are first, second and third stage. First is the youthful stage, then the mature stage, last one the old stage. Among that, the valleys are formed at which period? Old, youthful, mature, any stage. Answer, youthful stage, the first stage. If the river flows through the mountains region, the valleys are formed. That means at the youthful stage. Youthful stages, V-shaped valleys, waterfalls, rapids. All these are in the youthful stage. Then the floodplains, eskers are formed during the mature stage. Deltas are in the old period. Next one. Which among the following statements are correct about youthful stages of a river? We said youthful, mature and old stages are there, and which are the following are in the statements are correct about the youthful stages of a river. First one, vertical erosion of stream is significant. 2. Rivers flow at high speed. The river valleys are deep and steep sided. River sides converted with sediments. Which are correct about the youthful stage of a stream. In the first one, the vertical erosion of a stream is significant. That is a correct statement. In the youthful stage, vertical erosion is important. Then, in the youthful stage, it flows through the mountain region and therefore it flows at high speed. The second statement is also correct. Then the third statement, the river valleys are deep and steep sided. And the vertical erosion is very important. Therefore, the river valleys are deep and steep sided. That is also correct. Then the river sides converted with sediments. It is a wrong statement. We said it flows through the mountains region and it carries the sediments and deposited in the lower part only. In the youthful stage, the sediment deposition is not an important process. The erosion is important in the youthful stage. The first, second and third statements are correct. Option B. Sorry, option A. The different stages of river. The first one, youthful stage. We already discussed about the youthful stage. Here the capacity of river, erosional capacity of river is very high in the youthful stage. And at this stage, the river gets affected the structure of rock. Here the erosional work is important. Then in the mature stage, wide river valleys are formed. Mature stage, wide river valleys are formed. Then the major landforms are the river capture, meandering, oxbow lakes, formation of floodplains. All these are in the mature stage. The river enters to the plain area. In the mature stage, river enters to the plain area and the horizontal erosion become more dominant and intensity of vertical erosion decreases. In the youthful stage, vertical erosion is important. In the mature stage, the vertical erosion started to decreases, and then the horizontal erosion become more dominant. And then the river gets closer to the graded condition. In the old stage, flows through the gentle plain, the erosional work is absent, the sediment deposition started. Next one, the erosional landforms form due to the active corrosion. Corrosion means the fragments eroded the river side and also the bed. The erosional landform formed due to active corrosion is waterfalls, valleys, potholes and meanders. In the picture, it is showing the potholes. Option C is the answer. It formed due to the active corrosion, and the pothole means small holes or scars on the bottom of the valley, and it is caused by the heavier stones that tumbling down under the force of running water. Large sized potholes are known as plunge pools. Then plunge pools and potholes are same, and these are formed due to active corrosion. Next question. Which of the following is not a type of waterfall? Options: hogback, cascade, cataract, none of the above. Not a type of waterfall. Cascade and cataracts are the types of waterfall. Then hogback, it is a ridge-like structure. And the answer is option A. Cascade and cataract are type of waterfall. Then waterfall means the steep vertical fall of water from outcrop of more resistant hard rock. Cascade, a series of quick falls in a small steps, is known as cascade. Then large powerful waterfalls are known by the name cataract. Next question. The landform made by differential erosion of alternate hard and soft rock. Differential erosion of alternate hard and soft rock. First one, rapids. B, potholes. C, hogback. D, structural benches. Alternate hard and soft rock leads to the formation of structural benches. And river terraces and structural benches are same features. The step-like flat surface on sides of the valley floor are known as the river terraces. And the river terraces are classified as two, paired and unpaired. Paired means the two sides are in the same erosion. And the unpaired means the two sides are differently eroded. Which of the following describe Cuesta? Cuesta is an erosional landform, and the landform having steep cliff on one side and gentle dip on the other. B, the tendency of the river to flow along a serpentine path. C, huge water quantity is forced through a narrow vertical passage. D, parallel valley sides of a river. Which describe the erosional landform Cuesta? The first one, answer option A. The landform having steep cliff on one side and gentle dip on the other side. Option A is the correct answer. The option B, the tendency of the river to flow along a serpentine path, it is meander, river meandering. And then the C, the huge water quantity is forced through a narrow vertical passage. It is known as chute. It is a type of waterfall. Then parallel valley sides of a river, that is the eye-shaped valleys. Cuesta and hogbacks are similar structures and having homoclinal ridges, ridge-like structure. Cuesta and hogback. In the Cuesta, one side is steep cliff and the other side is gentle dip. Next one, which of the following statements are correct about Oxbow Lake? Statements: formed near a river cliff by accumulated deposits, formed due to the impounding of water in the abundant meander loops, formed at the upper course of a river, never formed near the mouth of a river. Which statements are correct about the Oxbow Lakes? The first statement, formed near the river cliff by accumulated deposits. The Oxbow Lakes are formed due to the deposition of sediments, but it is never formed near the river cliff. If the river flows through the plain area, then only the Oxbow Lakes form. And the first statement is incorrect. And the second one formed due to the impounding of water in the abundant meander loops. Of course, it is the correct sentence. The oxbow lakes are formed due to the river meandering and then formed at the upper course of the river. In the upper course, erosional work is eminent, and then the oxbow lakes are formed in the never formed at the youthful stage, in the mature or old stage. The third statement is also incorrect, and never formed near the mouth. The oxbow lakes, it is mainly formed in the second stage, in the mature stage. Sometimes it is formed at the mouth also. So the fourth statement is also incorrect. And the second statement only the correct about oxbow lakes. Answer option A, second statement only. The picture showing the stages of oxbow lakes formation. The oxbow lakes forms when a wide meander of a river is cut off, creating a freestanding body of water. A continuous deposition on the convex bank and erosion of the concave bank of a meandering river causes the formation of oxbow lake. Then oxbow lakes, the main reason for the formation is meandering of river and then the erosion of concave bank and the deposition on the convex bank. Okay. Next question. Levees are formed in a floodplain when the river. Here levees and floodplains both are depositional landforms of river. And the levees formed in the floodplain region. And at what time? First one, when the river reaching the deltaic plain. Second one, when the river falls near a river cliff and accumulates the deposit. Third one, the river flows normally in a bed that rises by the accumulation of deposits. Option D, the river flows rapidly in a bed that has been eroded by large granular deposits. The levees formed at what time? And the levees are formed near to the floodplain. The answer is option C. When the river flows normally in a bed that rises by the accumulation of deposits near to the river shore in the floodplain area. The floodplain means areas of land on either side of the river. Floodplains, natural levees, both are the depositional landforms along the two sides of river. Both are formed after the flood. And the increasing depth of the alluvial deposits on the floodplain results flooding and develop in the lower course of the river near the sea. And the high banks of the floodplains are known as the natural levees. The elevated portion of floodplains near to the river is known as the natural levees. And look at the picture, you can understand the terms. Levees means the elevated portion of the floodplains. Which of the following statements about alluvial fans are correct? The next depositional landform is alluvial fans. Which of the statements are correct about alluvial fans? First one, fluvial depositional feature formed in higher reaches of a river. There is no stratification of river load deposited. Very fine sediment load is carried to alluvial fan area. Alluvial fans have gentle slope than the alluvial cones. Which of these statements are saying about the alluvial fans? The first sentence, fluvial depositional feature, is the alluvial fans are fluvial depositional feature. Then it is formed in the higher reaches of river. The alluvial fans are formed near the mountain reaches. And thus it is a correct statement. The fluvial depositional feature formed in higher reaches of a river. Next one, there is no stratification of river load deposition. And in the alluvial fans, there is no stratification. The coarse grain and fine grained alluvial deposits are found in the alluvial fan area. The second statement is also correct. Next one, the very fine sediment load is carried to alluvial fan area. It is a wrong statement because we said there is no stratification of river load. Stratification of river load means the coarse grains and the fine grains deposits are found. Thus, the third statement is wrong. And then the alluvial fans have gentle slope than the alluvial cones. Yes, it is a correct statement. Alluvial cones have steep slope. Then the alluvial fans have gentle slope. That is the difference between the alluvial cones and alluvial fans. Both are alluvial deposits in the higher reaches of a river. the alluvial cones are steeper than the alluvial fans. Thus, it is a correct statement. And the first, second and fourth statements are correct. The option D. Alluvial fans and cones. Alluvial fans formed in the higher reaches of a river. There is no stratification of river load as all materials, fine and coarse materials, are deposited together. Stream make alluvial fans eventually shift course, forming many channels and burst known in dry climate. Then the alluvial cones formed when the mountain front is steep. Okay. Which of the following characteristics of alluvial fans is different from deltas? Both are depositional landforms. Alluvial fans and deltas are depositional landforms. In what characteristics they are different? Options: nature of load, agent of formation, nature of formation, then all the above. Option A, nature of load. We said in the alluvial fans and alluvial cones, both the coarse grains and the fine grains are found. But in the deltaic region, mainly fine grains. Then the agent of formation, in both the alluvial fans and deltas, agent of formation is river. Nature of formation, both are formed due to the deposition landforms. Thus, the answer is nature of load. Which of the following are correct about delta? The statements are: delta formation is hindered by frequent tides on the coast. Second one, active erosion of a river in the upper coast simulates the delta formation. Third one, development of delta leads to the formation of several distributaries. Fourth one, the deltaic landform is very fertile. Among these statements, which are correct about delta? We can go to the statement. First one, delta formation is hindered by frequent tides on the coast. It's a correct statement. If the coast is frequently affected by tides, the delta formation will not happen. And first statement is correct. Next one, active erosion of the river in the upper course stimulate delta formation. If the river carries more amount of deposits, in the active erosion in the upper course leads to the formation of more deposits, and if the river carries more amount of deposits, it will stimulate the delta formation. Thus, the second statement is also correct. And then the third one, the development of delta leads to the formation of several distributaries. Due to the deposition of sediments in the coast, the river divided into small channels, that is known as distributaries. Then it is also a correct statement. And then the deltaic land form is very fertile. The deltaic land means it formed due to the alluvial deposit. That means it is very fertile. All the statements are correct. Option A. The type of delta formed when the river gets divided into radial channels and deposits maximum amount of load is. There are different types of deltas. Among these, which type of delta is formed when the river gets divided into radial channels and deposits maximum amount of load? Birdfoot delta, estuarine delta, cascade delta, arcuate delta. Answer is option D, arcuate delta. And we can go to the explanations. The different types of delta. First one, arcuate or fan-shaped delta. We know it means when the river gets divided into radial channels and deposits maximum amount of load. That is the arcuate delta. Next one, the digitate delta or birdfoot or elongate. Digitate or birdfoot or elongate delta. And very few distributaries are found near the mouth. In the digitate or birdfoot delta, very few distributaries are found near the mouth and formed when the velocity of the river is relatively more. And for example, Mississippi River. Example for the digitate or birdfoot delta is Mississippi River. Next one, the estuarine delta. It is formed where the river flow into the sea through a single mouth of or an estuary. The estuary filled with sediments formed long and narrow delta. Example, the delta Seine in France and Hudson delta. Hudson delta and delta Seine in France are examples for estuarine delta. In the estuarine delta, the river flows to the sea through a single mouth or an estuary. Then next one, the cascade or tooth-shaped delta. The deposition of sediments occur along the main channel of a river and the delta projects into the sea. These are the different types of delta. The last question. Which of the following is the correct sequence of landscape feature from source to mouth? From the source to mouth, the river flows through different stages and a variety of landforms are formed. And among the following, which are the correct sequence of landforms from the source to the mouth? And we know that in the youthful stage, valleys and waterfalls are come. Then in the middle stage, alluvial fans and floodplains, meandering, all these are come. And then the deltas are in the last stage. And here, waterfalls, valleys, alluvial fans and floodplains are there. And among that, the correct sequence is first one at the mountain area, it will come valleys, then waterfalls. Next one, the alluvial fans are found in the higher reaches. Then the lower plain area, it is floodplains. Thus, the correct order is valleys, then waterfalls, next alluvial fans, then floodplains. Answer option B. And in between the alluvial fans and floodplains, the meandering and oxbow lakes will come. Okay. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel. Do like and share. Thank you once again.